We are live. All right, Jenny, here comes the intro.
All right.
Here comes the delayed intro.
Here we go.
What is the deal with this? Let's try this.
You're listening to the Grow Clinton.
Let's try that again.
You're listening to the Grow Clinton podcast. Grow Clinton is a 501c6 nonprofit economic community development and tourism organization based in Clinton, Iowa. For more information, visit growclinton.com. Again, that's growclinton.com. Now, back to the show.
What's happening, all you dedicated, passionate listeners of the Grow Clinton podcast? That's right, folks. We're on episode 144 of the Grow Clinton podcast. Time flies when you're having fun, Jenny.
I know it is so much fun.
As always, I'm your host, Andy Sokolovich, president of Grow Clinton, joined in the studio by the lovely Jenny Home from our office. Jenny, what's happening? Happy Monday, by the way.
Hey, happy Monday. And isn't August busy?
August is busy. July was a blink. I tell you what, craziness all around. But guess who's going on vacation soon?
I think I know.
This guy.
That's right.
Finally, well-deserved. Haven't seen my dear old mama in I guess almost over a year now.
Aww.
My stepdad, same thing. My sister I haven't seen since I think it's been 4 years.
What a great trip.
Yeah.
You're going to love it.
Meeting halfway in OHIO. So that's about a 6.5 hour drive for them, 6.5 hour drive for us.
Perfect.
Rented a lake house there on Lake Erie, so it should be a good time. We're going to go fishing on Wednesday of next week, so I'm looking forward to it.
Perfect.
You know what else I'm looking forward to, Jenny?
What's that?
Well, that's right, Jenny. You guessed it. Wicked high-speed fiber internet. It is fast, folks, and it comes from Miles Communications. We want to thank them so much for their continued support of the Grow Clinton podcast. Again, without the wicked fast high-speed internet, we would not be able to bring you this show. MilesTelephone.com. Go check it out. MilesTelephone.com. High-speed fiber internet, television, and telephone services. If they're not in your neck of the woods, they are on their way. Great show today, Jenny Home.
Oh, my gosh. We've got an association here, organization that does amazing things for our community.
Yeah, we do. Many people know they exist. They maybe see the name in the paper, or they work for a nonprofit that applies for your grant opportunities. But we have Megan and Dawn from the Clinton County Development Association in the house. Ladies, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having us, Andy.
Yeah.
Pleasure.
You got to get closer to that mic. Don't get away from it.
Don't be afraid.
Get away from it. Yeah, you got to get in there.
Don't be afraid.
The Clinton County Development Association, when we used to have the Clinton Regional Development Corporation, we were often confused for each other. But you guys are the ones that take a portion of the gambling revenue that's generated through the Wild Rose Casino and Hotel here in Clinton, and your board is, I guess, charged with identifying philanthropic organizations that need some little extra cash to be able to do something awesome. So tell me a little bit about the CCDA. Megan first. Dawn is a board member, but Megan, you're actually the grant administrator?
Correct.
Awesome. So tell us a little bit about the CCDA, what it is, and how people can take advantage of it.
So, like you said, we are funded with grant or revenues from Wild Rose Casino, and then twice a year we offer grant opportunities, spring and fall. So you go online, fill out the application. You do have to be physically located in Clinton County, and the maximum you can apply for is $75,000. And then a nonprofit, so it also includes governmental, so schools, cities, churches can apply.
But not just a 501c3 anymore, correct?
Correct.
You can be a 501c4 or a 501c6.
Correct.
So
And for people who don't know, what does that mean?
So 501c3 is your traditional nonprofit organization, meaning they're not a business membership organization. They definitely don't have a lobbying component to them. So Grow Clinton is a 501c6 because we are a member investor organization, as well as the fact that we have a lobbying component. So we go to the state and the federal house to lobby both on the congressional side and here state on the representative side and the Senate side. So that's why we're a 501c6.
Yep.
If you want to know more about it and you're just dying to know, just go to irs.gov and it'll tell you what you can be and what you can't be. So 2 rounds of grants. Now, you used to have a Fund A, Fund B, or Grant A, Grant B. Now they're seasonal, right? There's one in the fall and there's one in, the spring?
Yep.
Okay.
So our fall round will close next Wednesday, August 13th at 4:30 p.m. So because we're online now, used to be with those Fund A, Fund B, you could bring your paper form in and rush them into Karen and have her time stamp those. Now it's all online, so you have to fill it out online. It will shut down at 4:30.
And what is the website?
ClintonCountyDevelopment.org.
ClintonCountyDevelopment.org. Online submission of your grant request.
Only, right? I mean,
Only.
there is
Only.
no running many papers anywhere.
Guaranteed there'll be a couple people that walk through these
Yeah.
hallways
Okay.
looking for you, because there is every year, and I always feel bad. I'm like, you got to do it online.
Right.
Yep. So we've been a little more awareness around it, though, and answering those questions in advance so people know that it's online. They know the deadlines. They know it cuts off at 4:30. If you submit early, I can take a look at them and try to answer any questions you may have or fix anything that needs fixing before the actual deadline. Once that deadline hits, there's no turning back.
Yeah.
So
So, Dawn, you're a member of the board for the Clinton County Development Association. How long have you been on that board?
Oh, we're on 6-year terms, and I believe I've served 4 of them.
Okay, good. Now, this is great because in the past there wasn't term limits. So we would have some directors on that board. I won't mention any names that have been on there for a very long time. And we appreciate their investment in time and their volunteerism. However, it's also good to be able to circulate through those people and have some other professionals that got some good ideas.
Yep.
So what are some of the changes you've seen since your time on the board?
Oh, it's ever changing every time we get new board members, which almost seems like every year now. We're getting changes, so there's a lot of learning curves. We're trying to find new ways to do things, different ways to look at things. It's just all around changing, and the projects are always different, so you got to view things differently every time things come in.
Go ahead, Jenny.
Typically, how many people apply in one of the seasons? One season.
Well, anywhere, I don't know, one season we're usually 30, I would say, is kind of like
That's a lot, though.
a good whole number to use.
So now how do you determine which grant requests are awarded? Is it based on what you have available funding-wise?
Yep. So this round will have like 400,000 to divvy out. Basically, the board scores all the grants, and then kind of Megan does all the legwork, puts them all into scoring sheets and how everybody scores, and then we allocate the funds based on the project. How they scored, and also what can be actually accomplished. We're looking to complete projects, not to get projects halfway there.
Yeah, you want to get them done. So, Megan, what do you see from a scoring standpoint? What helps? What hurts? Is there like a rubric that you use to grade these applications?
So the questions themselves are kind of a rubric, and it tells the applicants that. So each question is weighted. I always encourage everyone to make sure you fill them out. Even if you think it doesn't apply, think outside the box, get creative, answer every single question. And you should tell your story and pretend that this person that you're telling it to has no idea who you are or what you're doing. So the 2 biggest components we see are the storytelling and the budget. So that's basically, what gets you funded or doesn't get you funded. And like Dawn said, completing the project, if the closer you are to the finish line where we can be the last dollars in, the more successful this is, because they don't want to just award those funds and then the project would fall through or take another couple of years. Because we do this twice a year, they may encourage you to reapply another round when you're closer.
One thing I used to always tell people, because for some reason our office just becomes like the point where everybody comes for these questions. Yes, Megan's office is in our building, the Armstrong building at 721 South 2nd Street, but people often reach out to specifically Matt Parbs from our office for advice on applications or submissions. Yeah, last dollar in, meaning that but for the receipt of this grant, we would not be able to accomplish this project. Is that accurate?
It is. So it's not technically a requirement. You can certainly apply, but when it comes down to where they're scoring the applications and there's only so many, dollars to give out, another one that will be completed with our dollars would probably take priority over one that is going to sit there and just hold up the funds.
So it's smart for an applicant to do their due diligence, understand what they have in the form of cash assets to bring to the project, have it all laid out, Don't come in half-cocked, like in a dream. I've thought about this idea, now I want your money. You have to have it basically what they call shelf-ready, a shelf-ready project where studies have been conducted or whatever is necessary to see it through to fruition. And then you guys come in at the end to provide the extra cash.
As
to
Dawn
ensure it
might
comes
say,
done.
some concrete information.
Concrete information.
Oh, we're
Yes.
getting funny.
That was such a good joke.
For those that don't
so good.
For those that don't understand the joke, Dawn has a professional position outside of the CCDA board of directors with Quality Concrete here in town. So thank you, Dawn, for your continued investment in the community through Quality Concrete as well. So what would you advise, like when you get these grants that come in, requests, what is the number one thing that you see people fail to do?
I think paint a good picture of what's really going on. So, like I said, utilizing that full application, answering every question in a clear and concise manner too, because you should keep in mind that, you know, these board members are reading 30 to 40 other applications at one time.
Right.
So paint that clear picture, you know, the best way you can. We always say too, print that out, give it to 3 people who don't know what you're doing before you submit it, let them read it and give you some feedback, and that's hugely helpful as well. But yeah, or missing the budget component. So it's all listed out in that grant. I mean, everything we want is a grant question. So fill the entire thing out, be detailed, specific, and have it all ready to go. So yeah, we require certain documentation for your organization, whether you're a church, a school, a 501c3. We ask for all the components of your project. And sometimes people say, well, I can't break it out into smaller components. Almost everything can be, because even if we can't fully fund you, we may try to give you some funds that may check off part of your project. So, you know, that may be better than nothing. If it truly is not, then, you know, you can include that as well.
So like Andy said, it's not like something you go in and just say, I have this idea. I really don't have a clear picture of it, but I know you guys would love to help me. It's not like that. It's not a, you know, more abstract thing.
Nope.
So you might be creative and everything, but you better have your numbers, right?
Yep. Creativity is great, painting the picture, but have it all ready.
Yep, and you have to also remember that sometimes there's more than $1 million worth of asks, and if we can only do 400,000 of over $1 million, you know, we have to be able to understand where, you know, where it's going to be the most beneficial to the communities in the county.
Yeah.
Because it is through the whole Clinton County. It's not just the city of Clinton.
Right.
And so people on the board members are through the whole Clinton County, so they might not know exactly what's happening in Clinton or what's exactly helping, you know, happening in the Calamus area. So if we get a good picture of what's happening in those areas, because we don't always all get to those areas, then it helps us understand what's trying to be accomplished.
That's kind of hard to remember too when you're sitting in Clinton, but it says it in your name.
Yep.
Yeah.
But you don't think about Calamus, or you don't think about, you know, going out west and seeing what they have in their communities, and they're also needing the funding.
And we have board members out
Right.
from that direction,
Right.
so they don't always know what's happening in Clinton as well. So everybody just has to keep in mind that it's not just Clinton that's getting it, it's the whole county.
Right.
So, and then it's very competitive.
Yeah, so clear, concise, yet thorough, because you may be pitching your idea or making your request to somebody who's not familiar with your project. So just assume everybody is familiar. What I would suggest you do, we just had this conversation this morning.
Yes.
I love using ChatGPT. What I do is I take my ideas, I draft everything out, just a brain dump in a Word document, run it through ChatGPT, and the prompt I always use is make my pitch more concise, more thorough. Is it easily understood? And you'll be surprised what it spits out. I do that for every board meeting when I know
Yep.
I have to present something that's going to require a vote. A lot of times when I put it on paper, it's like a page and a half, and then ChatGPT spits out a very concise couple paragraphs using my words. I go through and modify it a little bit, but you should probably do that too.
It's a great tool for
Great
something
tool.
like that makes it easier for you as well.
Yeah. We were talking this morning. I like to listen to a podcast during my morning walks. The one I love to listen to is called Talk Fast, Think Smart, Talk Fast, something like that. But today was about 3 things. It was about answering the questions like, what is it? So what? Why does it matter to me? And now what? Now what am I expected to do? And they use this all the time in sales jargon as well, is to identify the problem, offer the solution, and then describe the associated benefits. And I think that applies to grant writing as well, is that 3-step process. Because some of these grants, I've had the opportunity to kind of review them in the past, not as a director of the board, but just kind of helping people write them. And they can be very long-winded, and a lot of support documents and a lot of things that the directors are never going to get through. And if it's too cumbersome to go through it all, chances are you're probably not going to receive the money because you made it too difficult for them to make an easy decision.
So around here for grant writing, is there help? I mean, can you go places, workshops, anything like that, that you would suggest for help? Or who could you go for a mentor?
Well, I tell people not to focus on the actual grant writing. You don't need to be a professional grant writer to write your grant. You know your story. So if you're relying on someone else, they're not going to tell it the same way you are. So even like Andy said, put all your words together and just have a friend read it, or a colleague or something like that, and have them maybe help you tailor it. Don't go to the extreme of a grant writer. You don't need it.
Okay.
We want to hear your story from you.
Oh, that's good to know.
Avoid acronyms without explanation.
Right.
Yep.
Sometimes I've seen that where they put in an acronym and they just expect people to know it, and I have no idea what that acronym means. So keep it super simple, right?
Yeah, we're not looking for grammar and punctuation and all those things. We're looking for content. So you just telling your story.
Yeah, that's great.
A little bit more personality in it.
Yeah.
Now, you guys have awarded grants. There's a huge spectrum, a very wide spectrum of things, from things that help out the municipalities, like fire department stuff, all the way to small nonprofits just trying to update their space. What is the coolest grant that you feel like you've ever contributed to? Like the project, I should say.
Oh, goodness. There's...
I mean, they're all cool.
They're all
Yeah.
cool. I
Is
mean,
there
the
one that sticks out?
splash pads, like Delmer did one that is just being used all the time. That was a really good one to help get to the finish line.
Things seem to go in waves too. So splash pads,
Yeah.
they kind of move across the
They're
county.
hot right now.
Yeah.
And then it was the same thing with pickleball courts. So those would move across.
Yep.
The Arboretum's doing their big remodel. So we've had a big chunk of that one.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's
Can't
a really
wait.
cool one.
We haven't been able to see that one yet,
No.
so that's
That's gonna be so cool.
but
I
that's
see
a
it
good
every day
one.
when I walk past. They're making. They had to pull down some of the fencing the other day because now they're doing all the dirt work up around
Okay.
the front.
Yeah.
The theater, the school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a amazing project, and the revamp of the school in the entirety, as well as the theater area, to help with the kids and getting some better productions and more things in that space.
Awesome.
That is so neat.
So again, we're talking to Dawn and Megan from the Clinton County Development Association. They are the granting entity that takes a portion of the gambling revenue received through the Wild Rose Casino and Resort and divvy that out in the form of a grant to support projects through nonprofit organizations or schools or churches here in Clinton County. And you have to be in Clinton County. We got a
Physically,
call the other day, actually. Somebody wanted to know if they could apply, and they named the town. I was like, it's not even in Clinton County. So my quick response was, no, you can't apply for a grant outside of Clinton County. So how does this work? Because we have a casino. So obviously we capture a portion of that gambling revenue. What about counties that don't have casinos? They get a portion of this as well, though, correct?
So there are. They call it ancillary counties. And so once a year, we will check surrounding counties to us in Iowa. If you're in Illinois, you're completely excluded because you're not in our state. So we'll look at Jackson County. We don't have to go to Scott County because they have their own casinos. Same with Dubuque. But we'll look at Jackson County and maybe even Jones County. And if the percentage of, and they can only track it by players' cards at the Wild Rose, if the percentage exceeds a threshold that was set by our board several years ago, I don't know the threshold, it's a percentage. And it's
So
small.
people are coming from that
If they're
county,
coming from
spending
there,
money here at the Wild Rose.
we can consider them for allocation in our grant rounds.
How is that tracked?
Players' cards.
Players cards. You said
Players'
that.
cards.
But if you're
Yeah.
not a frequent flyer,
Right.
you probably don't
Right.
have a player's
That's,
card.
but
Probably
that's the
should
best
get
way.
one.
It's the only way
Yeah.
we can actually track that.
Get a
So,
player's card.
There is another way, and I'm not 100% sure on the details, but other counties in the state that don't have a casino do receive some funds, and it's funneled through, like probably similar to what your organization would be, for them at their discretion to distribute. I just don't know enough about it to speak.
Okay. So fall grants due on the 13th,
Yeah, it's a week from Wednesday.
a week from Wednesday.
Yep, so everyone should be in crunch mode now. Get them done.
4:30.
Now, do you
4:30
find that
PM.
there's some people that submit their stuff way early, way in advance?
Yep, we have 6 or 7 in so far, and I've actually reviewed all of those already. And I'm able to email them or send a section back and say, hey, fix this. You still have another week to resubmit it.
That's so
there's
smart.
advantage. to
Get it in
submitting
there,
early.
yeah.
Now, one of the things you require is proof of nonprofit status. What does that look like?
So your IRS determination letter. If you aren't 100% sure what that is, I can send you an example of one. But if you get on irs.gov, most recent organizations will have them uploaded and ready. If you're an old organization and cannot find a copy, you do have to contact the IRS. We can't accept any other documentation, just out of fairness to all the other
Yep,
organizations.
makes complete sense.
Right.
But
Yep.
fair warning, if you contact the IRS and you make the request, you're not going to meet the 13th deadline if you do it
No,
today.
not
They are
now.
not
You might not
quick.
even
It
get
takes.
through.
It took us 6 months to get Grow Clinton's determination letter of nonprofit status from the IRS.
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
insane, but that's the way it works. If
true.
you call the IRS and you're placed on hold, you might as well just give up because nobody's ever going to answer
Well,
that
Okay,
phone.
75
on
minutes.
speaker.
75 minutes, and then they hang up on you.
Oh,
Yeah, it is rough.
Don't ask me
It
how
is
I know
rough.
that.
and I've been on the other side of it. Before I started with the organization, we helped Whittier with their playground project. So that was very helpful to me coming into this role, as I've been on the other side. And
Yeah.
so I can, and sat on the phone with the IRS, had to get the IRS determination letter.
Yep.
So it is doable. It's
Now
just
does-
painful.
does-
It's just painful.
Dawn, does every director review the request, or is it a subcommittee?
Every director reviews it.
Okay, and how many
scores it.
directors total?
We have 11 right now.
Okay.
We are looking to expand the board to possibly 13 as of next year, with the quick turnover and our term limits.
yeah.
We seem to be losing sometimes 4 at a time.
Wow.
And so we're going to expand the board because we have in a couple years, I think there's like 3 or 4 that are going to go off. So that will help with replacements because, we want the right fit and people have to apply to be on it. And it takes a committee and it takes time to find new members. And
I would think people would want to be on that committee just because people want to be on a committee that does something and then also want to make their mark with something that they can do for their communities.
Yeah, it's a great way to give back.
Yeah,
It's a
it
very
is.
respected board.
Yep.
I will say now that you have term limits, there's better chance of getting on
Yeah.
there. Before there was like no chance. But one of the things that I love about it is the fact that you get to have a say in where that money goes.
Yeah.
And what better way to grow and develop your community than acknowledging people that have amazing projects and be able to financially commit to those projects
Right.
to see them through to fruition. Now, what is the criteria to be on the board, Megan?
So you have to be in Clinton County.
Reside.
Reside in Clinton County, and we do try to make sure that all areas of the county are represented. So that's probably one of the things with the term limits. We may get 5 applicants from within Clinton, but we need someone that knows Calamus and Wheatland or knows Goose Lake. So, in different industries, it's probably one of the best things about the term limits, though, is that you get those new perspectives and fresh ideas, but you lose a ton of experience and history because
Yes, you do.
any of those board members can attest. It probably takes a good year to 2 years to really feel like you understand what's going on in the organization because these grant rounds are just twice a year. So you're maybe only doing something once a year. So
Yeah.
it is
people
very
like Dave Sivright, very philanthropic on his own, but he was a longtime board member of the Clinton County Development Association. Les Shields.
Shields, yep.
Yeah, and there's just been so many folks out there. Alice Schneppel, rest her soul, she was awesome. I loved coming to speak there because she had a different cat sweatshirt on every time I'd come in. She was really sweet and great to our organization as well. So it's a good board to be a part of.
I like the cross section of the board too. I mean, it's great ideas, different. You need it. It's not, and what I like about it is not like mysterious or who are these people doing this. It's
And-
really transparent.
Yep, and we have profiles on our website. I always encourage people to look that up and find a board member to talk to because they'll sit there and walk through the project and
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
process with you.
That's great.
So they're all great about doing that, and we do that frequently. So on our website, find out who they are.
It always blows my mind when I talk to people. I was like, hey, did you reach out to anybody on the board? No. Well, why not? They're going to tell you what they want to hear, what they want to see,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
I mean, you're not influencing their decision, but if they're going to give you any tips or tricks, take full advantage of it. Absolutely.
Yeah, because this is not a board. I mean, like I said, people might think it's like this big mysterious thing of suits and in a big fancy room or something, but it's not. These are people from our community who want to do great things. They
Yeah.
want to talk to you.
Yep.
And if
Eric
they,
Geddes
if they
still on the
share,
board?
Yep.
Nah, he's an Eagles fan. He's a good guy. Yeah, I love him.
So if they share with the board members too, it also gives a personal touch so that if there is any questions, there is a board member that has a little more inside detail
Yeah.
to the project that's going on so that when we do go through scoring, we can put our comments in. And then if anybody has any questions, there are people to reach out to then that have, firsthand knowledge.
Yeah. And I want to thank you just right now, get it out of the way, but Clinton County Development Association about 2 years ago agreed to be a investor in our organization at a set amount annually, which I love because in the past we were always competing for grant requests and trying to figure out how we could earn some money to support our efforts from the CCDA. But now that you're a member investor every year, it makes our life so much easier. So we appreciate that. And kudos to Civ Right, because that was really Dave giving me a call and be like, this is what I want to do. Is I think he went to a conference or something like that, and he was listening to a lot of other similar organizations that were investing in economic development annually. So we really do appreciate that. What else do you want people to know? Obviously, the August 13th date. If you're planning on submitting for a grant, you got to get it in. Now, is that like close of business on the 13th, midnight?
4:30.
4:30. Got to have it in. 4:30.
The website will shut you down. So
Online only.
Online only.
All right.
Yep.
I will
ClintonCountyDevelopment.org.
Yep.
Right.
And I will be here that day, and I will answer the questions, but I can't fix, internet issues and email issues that day.
Yeah.
So.
Then do you still do the plaques for the projects that you?
Yep.
Yeah, so you had the plaques that say, what does it say, sponsored by or supported
Funded
by?
in part by.
Funded in part by. Yeah, it's very cool.
With our logo. So,
Yeah.
and we promote, it's doing good in our community, but we really promote it so the Wild Rose gets credit. It's their funds reinvested into the community, so we need the community to support them. That's where the funding comes from.
Yeah, so if you need a good excuse to go home and tell your significant other why you lost money at the casino, just say you were investing in economic development in Clinton County.
Smart in the community.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great, guys. Well, thank you so much.
Dinner, all kinds of things out
concerts.
Yeah.
That's right.
I love it out there. We hosted our annual meeting out there. For years prior, it was an outside event. We hosted it at the Wild Rose Casino, used their ballroom in the backside, and it was a great event. The air conditioning felt cool and nice, and they're easy to work with. Their entire team is awesome.
Couldn't be more accommodating.
Yeah, Larissa, we get along with great. We know her well. Just a good group of folks out there.
Right.
Natasha helps us every month. Our meetings are there monthly as well.
Yeah,
Steve
Natasha's been like my ride or die Wild Rose contact forever that I've been involved. Well, 10 years now I've been involved in this industry in some form or capacity.
Yeah.
But Natasha's been there the whole time. She's always great to us.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's cool.
All right, so keep supporting the Wild Rose Casino and Hotel. Thank you so much to Megan and Dawn from the Clinton County Development Association for joining us on this 144th episode of the Grow Clinton podcast. Again, if you are applying for a grant during the fall grant cycle, make sure it's in by 4:30, week from Wednesday, August 13th. That's it. 4:35. You try to upload your grant request. No bueno, folks. Try again. Right?
Have to wait till the spring.
Got to wait till the spring. Well, I'm looking forward to the announcement. You guys do a phenomenal job on selecting top-notch projects. I'm always just kind of amazed every time those grant announcements hit the Clinton Herald, where the money's going and what type of projects are being supported. There's a lot of deserving organizations throughout our county that are doing some amazing things. So, Jenny, what do you got going on the rest of the week?
I'm off. I've got on vacation.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I'm on vacation, so I'll just be
What do you got?
around.
What do you got planned? That's fun.
Not a lot. Just hanging out and doing my thing.
Yep, doing your thing. Yeah, I get it.
I'll probably sleep.
Yeah, well, don't
Stare.
sleep your vacation away.
I'll sleep and I'll stare at a wall.
Yeah, there you go. Well, at least you got plans.
Not really.
Yep. I am traveling to Muscatine tomorrow with Megan Dove in a different role that she has with the Downtown Clinton Alliance. We're having the State of Iowa's Iowa Economic Development Authority Downtown Annual Conference in Muscatine at the Merrill Hotel. Very excited. Muscatine's been doing a lot with their downtown. Their economic development professional and mayor, Brad Bark, is a good friend of mine, so I'm looking to catch up with him as well. And we're hoping to garner some tips, some feedback, some tactics that we can bring back and apply here to Clinton. And it's always nice to catch up with some of my peers in the industry. So I look forward to it. She's carpooling with Matt and I, the P and the VP. So brace yourself.
Oh, man.
It's going to be a lot of
good.
It's going to be a lot of gangster rap.
I'll borrow the headphones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bring
You
your
guys
daughter's
are
tablet.
busy.
Yeah.
Wow. You bring your tablet.
Yeah.
You guys are busy, though. You're all running all over the place. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's important. I think there's nothing better than getting out and engaging your peers in economic development, because one thing I love to do is copy other people's success.
Sure.
If they've done it and they've worked out all the kinks and they've proven that it's effective and it's affordable, why would we not do that and apply it here? I mean, I just had a conversation with another organization similar to ours in Iowa that is looking at potentially merging their Chamber of Economic Development organization, very similar to what we did back in 22. And they were just kind of picking my brain, asking for things that went well, things that would reflect back on and possibly change. Fortunately for us, there's very few of those, if any, because we luckily, fingers crossed, had a very smooth transition, and it continues to be probably the smartest move we've made in the last century.
I agree. And I think that when you think about that, it was smooth for us, but it wasn't without a lot of work for you, and the board, everything like that.
Everybody.
It was just a lot.
Yeah, very supportive. I mean, Matt Parbs, now our VP, was very influential in that process. Helped me out a ton, but all the things that you don't think about.
Oh gosh.
Everything that requires an attorney's signature, whether
everything
it's letters of incorporation, updated bylaws, selecting the board. I mean, it's just a ton of stuff.
The whole thing.
But we got through it, and here we are now over almost 4 years into our merger process.
Really?
Yeah.
Almost 4 years.
Well, March will officially be 4 years, Yeah.
Wow.
Time flies when you're having fun, Jenny.
Oh, man.
All right,
Yep,
folks.
You're right.
Well, what else flies is wicked fast, high-speed internet. One last shout-out
Listen
to
to
our
that.
sponsor, Miles Communications. Check them out, milestelephone.com. Again, that's milestelephone.com for all your high-speed internet needs. Again, if they're not in your neck of the woods, not serving your location, whether you're a business or a resident, they'll be there soon. I know that's Scott Bodie. He's on our board. He's always working.
He's hustling.
Yeah, he's task saturated.
He
I tell
really
you what, that guy
is.
I'm not on the board for Miles Communications, but if I was, I'd get him some kind of assistant.
I know.
Because he is busy.
Day and night.
He's actually going to be hooking us up with some new phones, I think.
Oh,
on
good.
on the
I'm
other side of the
excited
building.
about that. Yeah.
Very cool. All right, everybody, until I talk to you next time, stay classy. See ya.
Thank you for listening to the Grow Clinton podcast. Be sure to subscribe and follow us on all your socials. Until next time, see ya.